make you want to move, make you get up in the morning, make you go out and get that bread. Hello, I'm AC Cash, and this is
JD Boom.
And we're here on behalf of Pivot Point Investors, where we help the everyday investor increase his financial earnings by way of stock investment, business investment, real estate investment. We've been doing the great debate around here, the great debate. What's that?
Hey, we're talking buckets. We're talking buckets of assets and incomes. Man, I know you all see my new Pivot Point Investors mask. We're gonna have these available, man. And so if you're a member, you can get one. So I'd be remiss if I don't say that first.
Okay. Man's got his Pivot Point Investor mask. That's good. That's another bucket. That's a bucket. We're not talking bucket of chicken, bucket of fries. We're talking buckets of wealth creation.
That's right.
What do we mean, buckets of wealth creation? That means there's a number of ways to get wealth, to accumulate wealth. And you want to get it in a bucket. You want to get it in a bucket of stocks. You want to get it in a bucket of real estate investments. You want to get it in a bucket of wealth generating tools, such as some of those that Mr. JD Boom's an expert in. You know, he runs around here and he's a little modest. JD Boom's a wealth creation advisor, and he's been doing that. You up to 20 years?
Yeah, I've been in insurance and financial services 19 years.
19 years, okay. Yeah. Well, click a few months, the guy's 20 years. There's buckets that are unique to that industry that people aren't privy to because it's not what we talk about every day.
That's right.
We talk about going to Biloxi and playing the slots. We talk about Cash 5, fantasy, whatever, but we don't talk about buckets where you invest your money to make it grow passively over generations and generations. So we're going to talk a little bit about real estate. We're going to talk a little bit about insurance products. Kind of an odd topic for a lot of folks, but one that Buffett knows very well.
Absolutely.
With his huge stake in Geico. He's been a smart guy for a long time. I think it's time for the rest of us to get smart.
Catch up.
Yeah.
Try to catch up.
Catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Might not catch him, but we'll be up on the rest of the game.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. So when we talk about real estate, because I love real estate.
This guy loves it. We did have the great debate earlier.
That's right.
So it's a continuation, but it's good. I love it.
So we're talking about just those two tracks. There's a lot of tracks where you can make money. But we're talking about two tracks in this particular conversation. When we talk about real estate, if you buy an asset, we can talk about specific ones, a house, a triplex, a quadruplex, or we're talking about insurance products where you take your money and spend it. I don't even want to go into that. I'll let JD Boom talk about some real estate, some
insurance specific. I'll just throw out a couple concepts and I'll go through a couple of what you can do versus owning a piece of property.
That's right.
Like Cash was talking about, we just side by side view the positives, the negatives, the benefits, you know, and some of the opportunities. You know, I won't say the negatives. I just say opportunities. For each comparison item, right?
That's right. And so my father, rest his soul, Sammy Cox, he used to say it's a poor rat that only has one hole to run into.
Oh boy.
Okay. Somebody chasing you, you only got one escape route. You're not doing good. And so when we talk about these buckets, it can't just be one or the other. In 2008, we had a huge real estate crash. You should have been in another bucket to diversify some of your risk.
That's right.
You know, and so JD Boom's gonna give a little bit about some insurance products and just talking about it as a different alternative bucket to be in when you talk about wealth creation.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, Cash. What I'm gonna say to start out is most people, when they think about life insurance as an example, they think about death insurance, really. It's in the name. It's almost like it's counterintuitive, you know. Life insurance, that's gonna pay when I die. They don't understand the living benefits, how you can benefit today while you're living as opposed to when you pass and move on. And so, you know, the living benefits of permanent life insurance can just do some incredible things for you. For example, life insurance, forget what it is, what does it do? And it's a vehicle, just like Cash said. It's one of the 7 areas that the IRS is blessed to where it's tax-free. And so getting back to what Cash was saying earlier about the buckets, we got 3 IRS buckets.
Okay.
You tax now, you tax later,
Okay.
or you tax now.
Okay.
Now, Cash, real simple.
Okay.
Which one do you want? Which one sounds the most appealing
Let
to
me
you?
think. Never is a beautiful
Never is
thing.
a beautiful thing,
That's
right?
right.
So, I mean, you just talk about as successful as he is, those IRS bills come in, the more
Okay.
successful you are, right?
Yep.
And so you got to have legitimate legal ways to give yourself a tax shelter, a tax protection, you know, against those burdens. The more successful you are, the more money they want from you.
That's
It's
right.
just the way it works, right?
More money, more
Problems.
Okay.
All the way. What, Biggie said that back in the day?
Yes, he did. But we're trying to minimize the problem side of it.
Absolutely.
You know, and so when we talk about these buckets, you're talking about being able to defer or alleviate your taxable consequence.
Yeah.
In the same light, when I think about real estate, the equivalent to that in the great debate
Oh yeah.
is that a lot of times if you have equity in your property, you can take out some of the equity, leave a little bit in there. But say you have a $300,000 house, you have let's call it $150,000 in equity. You can take out $100,000. Safely take out $100,000, and there's no tax benefit because it's almost a loan to you.
Okay.
So you take that out as a loan, and you pay it back through the income generated through the property, minimize the tax consequence, and it's another bucket to dig in, pull a little something out for yourself. Now the equivalent in an insurance product would be what?
Let's say you're a business owner, and let's just say in that particular business, you can pay yourself a bonus through life insurance, and paying it through the life insurance, you are able to get a write-off for the payer, which is the business, right? So the business is paying and you're the business owner, and you're the insured for the policy.
Okay.
And
so I got my company.
You got your company.
And I want to pay for a life insurance policy. So whatever it is.
Permanent life insurance.
Permanent life insurance policy. And I'm paying the premiums every month. And then as an owner, I get a tax deduction because it's an expense in the business.
And because the business is the payer and not the owner of the policy.
Okay. Beneficiary of this policy is whom?
Beneficiary would be the person, whoever the loved ones are for you as a business owner. So if you did it and you decided, okay, I want to make my wife my beneficiary, or I want my wife and I want my child to be a beneficiary, you know, or I want to spread the wealth. I want to give a little bit to Morehouse, you know, I want to give it, you know, so you can go and whoever you want to be your beneficiary. It doesn't matter. Charity.
Now, it's only good for me when I die, right?
That's not true.
That's true.
That's the part. See, that's what people don't understand, the living benefits.
Okay.
Right.
Living benefits.
Living benefits
Getting
while
the
you're
benefit while you're here. Okay.
And so one of the living benefits is the tax deduction, and the ability to pay no taxes because it's life insurance. So in that example, Cash, your business is paying the premiums for your policy.
Okay.
You're the owner. You're the insured. The business is the payer. The business, let's say $10,000 is what you did in as far as the bonus, right, for the business. The problem for you personally is that just increase your taxable liability by $10,000 because that's income.
Okay.
And so what the business then, because of this section of the IRS code, allows for the business to come back and do a double bonus. And so they can pay that additional $3,000, let's just say that it increased your taxable liability, they can pay that $3,000 and then write 100% of the $13,000 off on their taxes.
Okay.
And,
so I don't want to go deep down.
Okay.
We know how you
we can go deep. We can go deep now.
So as a business owner, I get a tax benefit.
Yeah.
I get an increased amount of insurance benefit because the company is paying it. And at the same time, I don't know if you even covered the fact that I can borrow against what's in the plan. So there's a cash value
accumulation.
But only if it's what kind of policy?
It has to be permanent.
Permanent. So cash value. So in the same scenario, if there's 200,000 cash value in there, I can go grab 100,000 out.
Absolutely.
If I never pay it, then I pass along, 100 years from now, because I'm a vampire.
Okay.
They just deduct what I didn't pay back from the benefit.
Yeah.
or I pay it back over time.
You can pay it back over time.
The clock, and now all that benefits still available for me.
Absolutely.
Now, do I get taxed for this $100,000 that I took out of that?
No, you took it out. You took it out in the form of a loan.
It's just a loan. It's a private loan because you're doing some private banking.
Private banking with that insurance company.
There you go.
So it's not a loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now I'm working my buckets. I'm seeing where I can get my benefit from while I'm living. So they tell you, get your flowers while you're here.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get flowers while we're here in different forms of buckets.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the debate rages on.
It does, but I'll say this. I showed Cash an example of $50,000 annually for a 40-year-old male for 25 years. So 1.9 million going in that business over that time had the ability to write off at 100% dollar for dollar. And then on the backside, when the business owner started taking actual payments from the cash value, over 418,000 for 20 years.
So each year, 418,000.
418,000 tax free for 20 years.
Right.
And there was still almost $1 million cash left in the policy after that.
And that's tax what?
Free.
Free.
And it was over a $1 million death benefit left for the next generation.
Okay, for the little cash.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, I'm talking, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay.
And then guess what? This policy was paid up after the 25-year time period, and it was still kicking out cash every year forever, as long as not all of the cash value is taken out at one time, and you at least leave 5% in there, that policy is going to keep paying into perpetuity. That's a big word, right?
Yeah,
perpetuity. Forever.
That's a good thing unless it's a tax bill.
That's right. That's right.
So while we don't want to dig too deep down that rabbit hole, the complete understanding that there are wealth accumulation vehicles that you have to be a little bit knowledgeable about and keep your sphere of influence knowledgeable so that they can keep you up on the new game.
Absolutely.
And really, this is an old game.
It's a real
old game. So we're talking about real estate. We're talking about insurance products that can keep on giving even when we're gone.
That's
and that's a beautiful thing.
But they created, Walt Disney created Disney World from cash value life insurance.
Cash value life
Coca-Cola was started from cash value life insurance.
Okay.
J.C. Penney's was saved back in after the Great Depression and the stock market crashed in 29
by
cash value life insurance.
Okay. And as a bedrock and a secondary bucket to that, the real estate industry, being able to have a property, have the tax benefits of interest being written off, having depreciation benefits of owning it, having cash flow from the property, having appreciation by the value of the property
going up over time.
And having third parties pay for the asset to build equity in it over time. Okay? So those areas are all critical for real estate. Obviously, you don't want to just go out, take your little pennies and go buy something that's not appreciating. The people running it in the ground, it won't have future value. That's considerations, but that's why you got to get your education. And all things get an understanding. And that's what we definitely are proponents of here at Pivot Point Investors, where we want you to be fruitful and multiply.
Oh, without a doubt.
And multiply your earnings in these buckets.
That's right.
We're talking buckets, baby.
Buckets.
Jordan was talking buckets.
That's right. That's a different kind of bucket.
That's different buckets.
That's right.
The great Colonel was talking KFC
buckets. Oh boy, that's a different bucket too. Okay. Yeah.
But we're talking
cash buckets, wealth buckets, money buckets.
That's right.
Accumulation buckets.
That's important.
Tax free.
Now, take all of that and then add the cream on the cake, tax free. That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
But we don't want to go too far down that road.
That's right.
We just want to throw out some nuggets, keep you thinking, give you something to work on. And if you want any more insight, you dial in a little closer to Pivot Point Investors, where we
Become a member. You can get access to all this stuff at 100%.
Yeah.
You can get the exact examples when you're a member. We take care of our members.
That's in the entrepreneurial section. We
right.
cover a lot of that in those courses.
That's right.
So, get your information from somewhere. We advocate Pivot Point Investors,
That's right.
of course. But buckets.
That's right.
We're glad to share that with you today.
That's right.
And there's more to come. There's always interesting information. I see you got that mask. We're going to get some folks running out messing with that Pivot Point Investors mask. I hear you. Hey, we're in COVID season, baby. You got to keep yourself protected. We want to protect your pockets. We want to protect your wealth accumulation. And we want to protect your person.
That's right.
With Pivot Point Investors mask.
That's
so,
right.
On behalf of me, AC Cash, and this is
JD,
giving you the helpful nuggets to help that wealth grow. So, while you're in those mean streets, take care and protect your pockets and keep working your buckets. Keep working your buckets. Buckets. Take care.